Welcome back to Dad's Deals and Dumbbells, the podcast where dad life meets business hustle, barbells, and apparently being gently strangled by trained professionals today.
Yep, we're two dads, one chiropractor, one lawyer, both entrepreneurs, trying to balance family, fitness, business, and now Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, without losing our minds, our gains, or being choked out.
And today we've got Bruce Guevara back in the studio. The last time we talked about Jiu-Jitsu, his business, benefits that it might have. And this time, what you actually will get to see is that Mitch and I got it together, showed up on the mat. We've got a little footage that we'll share as well, and we could talk about what went well and what didn't.
Yeah, we definitely learned a lot, sweat a ton. Joe got a little banged up, so.
Minor injury, major content opportunity perhaps.
Yeah, well, he got it figured out. Just a little intercostal sprain strain. So today we're breaking down the class, what we really liked, what dads and busy professionals should know before doing any BJJ, any jiu-jitsu, and why getting humbled might actually be good for you. I was definitely humbled.
It was a good experience. All right, so let's bring in Bruce.
Definitely.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
You're welcome.
Only guest we've had on here twice for an actual segment, and there's a very good reason for it, of course.
Segment,
yeah.
Because we were really sweaty.
Sweaty. Exactly.
And I couldn't breathe.
I couldn't. There were certain challenges. So it was. This was a first-time experience for me. Have you ever done a class before?
Yeah, I wouldn't say like a formal class. I did one. It was with F3, just like a mess around thing. We went to the gym here. It was like Gideon's gym. I think it's Gladiator.
Somebody knew what they were actually doing.
Yeah, the teacher was like the professor was the F3 guy was a professor at the gym, so he knew what he was doing. It was mostly just kind of messing around with games and stuff like that. Nothing that structured, and nothing like, all right, like work this move out of this guard. It was really just playing games.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, so for the folks who haven't watched the first episode that you were on, why don't you kind of reintroduce yourself? Who are you and what do you do?
So my name is Bruce Guevara. I'm a third-degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I run an academy here on the border of Naperville and Aurora, across from the Fox Valley Mall, B1 Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And this year we celebrate our 13th year anniversary.
Congrats.
Thank you. And yeah, we've been, kind of just helping out the community, with kids as young as 3 all the way to, I don't like to put a cap, but we got students I think I have a student or two in their 70s now.
Do you really?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. So we're
that's awesome.
We're lots of families, so that's how everybody kind of comes in. I mean, it's to the point where it's like, mom or dad will start, then the kids will start, and now we got grandparents that they're like, hey, I'm bringing the kids anywhere, I'm tagging along, I might as well jump in and learn something.
Yeah, I noticed when we were at the class, it was like an entire I think when we between classes, like when someone got a belt or something, or like a strap on the belt, and like the dad, the mom, the daughter that got the stripe, and then I think her sister, her other sibling, were all taking pictures, posing for pictures, all in their gis and stuff like that. I was like, oh, that'd be fun to do as a whole family. Yeah, and
that's one of many of the families that train there. So, I think they, I always tell people, I'm like, if you're spreading yourself too thin with too many places, it's going to be hard on everybody. So, like what some of those families have done, they're like, learning self-defense is important, so we're all just going to do it as a family, and that way we're not driving all around town, going from different events, different activities.
And you're going to experience more and more of this as your 3 are all in the ages where they're all in activities all the time. I completely understand what you're saying as a dad, because the year my kids were both doing baseball and softball, and I was coaching both teams, which is a terrible idea.
Yep. It
was nonstop shuttling. This is before my daughter had her license, and it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of value to that.
Yeah, one-stop shop would be very helpful.
Yeah, for sure.
And we're getting close to, like, I'm in the stage where I'm trying to figure out, like, how do I limit my schedule to where I can actually go do those things? Because right now I'm like Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm in the office till like 8. I get home at 8, and then like on Thursdays I'm home at 7. I'm like, God, that's too late for all those activities. So we definitely need to start figuring out some of those things.
Yeah. Otherwise, kids are gonna be grown and you're having regrets.
Oh yeah. They definitely want that. Like I taught like Friday afternoon soccer. That was pretty fun with little minis. I was like literally hurting cats. So
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's.
I'm curious to see like a 3-year-old in a jiu-jitsu class. That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, no, you got to make it extra fun, because that is the you can call yourself a good instructor, but the 3-year-old will decide.
He's the judge.
Yeah.
They are the judge.
Yeah, exactly.
Less than a goldfish attention span.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had you on an episode before, and we talked about your facility. We didn't get to see it. We got to see it firsthand. You invited us to come out for a class. I got to ask the question: what were your expectations in the two of us coming out? Mitch is a giant human.
I mean, I was, a lot of times when I invite people, very few take the opportunity to jump in.
Yeah, how long did it take to get Sal out there?
Oh my
God!
Like
did he come out?
Yeah, he came out the night before.
Yeah.
Oh.
So with Sal, he reached out to me, and I don't think he even knew. So before we moved to this location, he actually reached out to a friend of mine down in New Lenox, and he's like, "Hey man, this guy reached out to me. He's in Naperville. He's like, there's no way he's going to be able to make it out here consistently because it's literally a 45-minute to an hour drive."
Right.
He's like, so I figured I'd give you his info and you'd reach out to him. I already gave him a heads up that you'd be reaching out. So I reached out to Sal. We had a nice conversation. Hey, we'll get you in on this day. Something happened. It didn't work out. Right. And then a couple of years go by. Sal reaches back out to me and he's like, hey, I think I'm finally ready. I'm going to do this.
That thing is finally over.
Yeah. And then same thing. We don't see him again. So then when Mitch reached, when Mitch reached out and he said, Sal's coming, and I'm like, dude, no way. This is, and I had reached out to him. Like I am, I think part of the reason why we do have a successful gym is I am very transparent. Like I have no problem approaching you or, hey man, where you been? Like I will call you out.
Yeah. That helps.
It does.
Keeps being a good coach.
It's being a coach. Yeah. I mean, because that's how I want people to be with me, right? Like it's part of the kind of the group mentality. But anyway, so yeah, he finally came in, he did the class, and I told him like, hey man, if you would have came in the day that you reached out to me, you'd probably be a brown or a black belt by now. Mm-hmm. So.
What do you say?
He's like, like he was even shocked because people don't realize like, hey, I've set this aside. I mean, I've talked to people that they're like, I've been wanting to start jiu-jitsu since '93 when I first saw UFC 1 or 2 and 3.
Oh yeah.
Right. When Hoist Gracie did the first tournaments. But yeah, all those people could have been black belts by now. But
yeah, that's a huge runway too. Like what at this point, like 23 years, 20 plus years.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah. I mean, and that's very common. Unfortunately, I don't know. I mean, it's a combat sport. I can see why. I mean, you guys came in. I'm sure that if I invite you guys again, it'd be a lot easier for you guys to come in the second time now that you know that the gym is, what to expect. You know that it's friendly. You know that we're not. No one's there trying to take your hat off.
So that's the biggest barrier for me. It's like I can't afford to get hurt.
Yeah.
And then talking with I don't know who I was rolling with, like maybe Brian or Ben. He was an Aurora police officer, and he's like, he was telling me like, hey, all right, ease up on certain things. Like, oh shoot, sorry. Like, try not to be an a-hole and like cross-face him or anything like that. And he's like, yeah, we're just more like, he's like, yeah, some of the newer guys don't know like where their strength's at or where the positions are at, and he was totally cool with it. But yeah, even working with him, like I had no issues thinking I was like, all right, he's gonna just like wrench on my neck or something. So.
No, because everybody's there for the same thing. Like nobody, even myself, like I do not want to wake up tomorrow with a sore neck because somebody, was being, a jerk and wanting to win, the round.
Right.
That doesn't exist. I mean, I tell guys, I'm like, hey, don't train with your ego. That's the biggest thing. I can tell when you're training with your ego. If you're just turning around and grabbing somebody's leg or grabbing somebody's arm and just wrenching it with no technique behind it, like, that's when you're rolling with an ego. Here's the thing, though. From a self-defense perspective, most of those students can handle that because even a surprise like that, like you can adjust to it, and that actually ends up working against them because if you commit with bad technique to something, then I can get the submission on you fairly easy. So, but that only comes with experience. But yeah, I mean, I think the message you're trying to get across is that it's safe. The training partners are going to be safe because everybody... It's part of that confidence building, right? Like I don't have to do, a below the belt move on Joe. For even if he is going, even if Joe's going hard on me because of his lack of experience, like I'm not gonna take that as disrespect. I'm like, hey Joe, no worries, we're going to move through this and we're going to move on to this next thing. And he's like, oh, okay. And then he'll roll a little bit more comfortably knowing that I'm not going to try to take his head off because of his lack of experience.
Yeah.
So when we were sparring at the end, I was like, I am so screwed. And I was trying not to like commit to anything because I knew like the second I like expose anything, I'm just like, he's gonna take my neck and crank it. No.
But even if you saw that, like I mean, you even said it, you're like, I feel like you're holding back on me. And I'm like, it's not that I'm holding.
Sense. Yeah, at the beginning, kind of slow play a little bit.
It's not like I'm holding back. It's just it's almost like you, in a way, as a beginner, you're your own worst enemy because you will put yourself in bad positions that you didn't know that was a bad position.
Right, 100%.
So through experience, like I know that. Like if somebody turns to their belly, like I'm better off making myself heavy, wearing them out, than me utilizing a ton of energy trying to hold somebody down that's 220, 230, 245 of muscle. Like I'm gonna lose that battle because I'm 150 pounds, but you know what fatigues pretty quickly is a lot of muscle.
Oh yeah. It takes a lot more blood flow.
Yeah. Sure. So you gotta use that to I guess you could say to your advantage, but it's just playing smart, right? In a self-defense situation, like I shared with the first time I was here, it was no different. Like, when that guy decided to come after me, it was one of those, I'm gonna wear him out. I'm gonna calmly put him in a position where he can't hurt himself, he can't hurt me, and we'll let the police take care of the rest.
Yeah. For the class, I had two goals. One was not to completely embarrass myself, and the other one was to not get injured. And I went 1 for 2.
Well, you didn't. I don't think. No, you did not embarrass yourself.
No, I didn't. But I did injure myself.
You did? Oh no! Tell us about it. What happened?
Still has not come to the person that can help him.
I'm fine now. I'm fine. In full disclosure, so I was on my back, and it wasn't with Mitch. It was with the other guy who was being very, very kind to me, and I heard a pop in my chest, and like I felt a sudden pain, but it wasn't because I've had a broken rib. It wasn't a broken rib, and I don't know what the hell it was, but I felt like a sudden sharp. I heard a pop, felt a.
Was it in the middle?
A pain.
Right on the sternum.
Left side. Towards like I could swear to God, it's like between sets of ribs is what it felt like.
You can tweak a rib.
So
maybe
I don't
some
know
cartilage.
Yeah,
I think it was probably
you can like shift some of the rib cartilage.
So I did it probably halfway through the class, and then I took a second and I kind of collected myself, and I was like, all right, well, it's not a broken rib. I feel all right, so I'm gonna keep going. I know what the hell it was. It was probably stupid.
You tweaked the rib.
I mean, but. Finished the class, and then went home, and was a little uncomfortable sleeping. And I had it. Basically, it took a couple days before it was gone for the most part. And then I was a little extra cautious with going back out and running because I didn't want to cause any. I could ride a bike without any problem. I did like 30 miles a couple days later, but I wanted to be careful about it, so I took a little time. So 2 weeks later, perfectly fine.
So you're good, Joe.
I'm fine now. Listen, and that is, I kind of felt like it was a freak thing, to be honest. Because it wasn't anything the guy was doing.
I think, and maybe Mitch can clarify a little bit more on this. You probably see this a lot with athletes or with people, or sometimes going from not that you live a completely sedentary lifestyle, but the fact that you've never done something in that category.
Absolutely not.
Your body hasn't built that body callus yet.
Yeah.
Right. So versus like, if you stay consistent with it and you did it at that mellow pace, you'd be okay.
To your point, I literally had the thought of when was the last time, other than with my children who are substantially smaller than me, was the last time I wrestled anybody in any kind of sense whatsoever? It's been a long time.
Yeah.
What, your brother when you guys were kids?
Probably as adults.
Your brother as adults? Like drunken college thing?
Yeah. Something like that. Thing? Yeah. I mean, I can't recall another time as an adult where I've done anything like that.
Yeah.
So
but that, not to cut you off, but we for those of you that are listening that may be interested in jiu-jitsu, like our academy specifically, I can speak for, we have a system of how to introduce brand new people into jiu-jitsu. So not only does it give them time to mentally be able to learn the information, but it also gives their body time to build that body callus, just strengthen up in those areas.
It is. I will say this. So I don't fault anything that happened there on anything except for me. I don't look at it negatively whatsoever.
I basically bribed you to do it. So
he did, which we'll talk about.
That's fine.
What I did get out of it that I was shocked at was the phenomenal workout in a compressed amount of time.
Yeah.
Because like this morning I got up and I ran for an hour, and
I think that first portion of class was like 40 minutes. I was
Yeah.
gassed.
it was
And that was a beginner's class.
yeah.
No, but I will
Didn't
say,
feel like it.
I will say this. So, yeah, the way, like the way that we run it, like we can scale the intensity of the session, very similar to like if you've ever done like Orange Theory and whatnot. Like when I set up like the ground rules on how this next round's gonna go, depending on the complexity of it or lack thereof is how how much of a workout you'll get. Like if it's really beginner based, like you'll get a sweat, but at the same time, like when you come in, like I want you to leave like, holy cow, 40 minutes, I got that good of a workout, right?
So I was surprised that there was a whole section devoted to warming up.
That warm up kicked my ass.
I did know it was
In a
coming.
good way.
And if for people that are watching on Mitch's screen here, you'll see Mitch and I come in over here
All the way in the
somewhere, all the way in the back. I was trying to hide. It didn't work very well. I just speed it up
The
here
guy with the beard.
as we were going. Yeah. So Mitch is over here doing some nice squats. I'm back here trying to hide. But yeah, we got warmed up, and that was great. I had zero concept of the thickness and the of the gi.
The stiffness too.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That was remarkable. Like everything I wear when I work out normally is sweat wicking and lightweight, and it was like just the
Breathable,
opposite.
movable.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys. I don't know if I picked those gis out or how you guys caught, but those gis are indestructible.
They're awesome.
They're indestructible. Like I have people that have had them for 10+ years, and they're still wearing them.
Wow.
So it's a good investment. I will say this: if anybody's watching this is 2 separate classes.
Yeah.
It's just everybody's warming up together.
I couldn't go against the kids.
I had my eyes set on the little guy on the left. I was going to take him down. Actually, maybe the girl.
No, there's some
she had to
kids,
be-
but
she-
there are some kids in there. Like there's some yellow belts in there.
Yeah.
They're not on the screen because they're a little bit older, so they like to kind of cram with each other in the back. But like those kids, if they go against adults, they'll hold their own. Yeah, for
Good for
sure.
them.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, we can kind of, like I said, we can kind of gauge the intensity, but at the same time, it's like you don't like you come in and you're like you want to work out, but if you don't get a workout, I don't want you leaving like, oh man, I did that jiu-jitsu class and that was 45 minutes of like waste of time or something. But even on the other side, like this morning, I had a group at 10 a.m. and there was at least 6 black belts on the mat. And since these guys, they're experienced, they'll have their own games, and they're all trying to kind of become a little bit sharper. So I stepped in and I started coaching like both sides and just mostly focusing on what we were working on that day. And because of my coaching, it set up the intensity a little bit higher. So like all of them left, and one of them reached out to me and he's like, I am wiped. We only did 3 rounds, but it's like, it was the mental focus that went into it. Plus the fact that there was somebody, coaching along the way or instructing, however you want to put it. Both parties were being a little bit more, had more conviction behind their training.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all you need. It's kind of like we talked about today with the Airdyne machine, right? It's kind of like you can spend an hour on the Stairmaster, or you can spend 20 minutes on the Airdyne, or 6 minutes,
Right.
and get the same effect, right? And that's kind of how we adjust the training session. So, my black belts this morning got a heck of a workout just based on, my instruction. And even though you guys were in the beginners class, you guys were like, we're like 40 minutes, that's all I need.
It was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. And then there's the good thing is like that feeling or that philosophy is definitely backed up now, where they used to think like, okay, steady state cardio versus intensity, like which one, it was like a 1-to-1 ratio or whatever. They've noticed like 1 minute of vigorous intensity is worth 8 minutes of steady state.
Yeah.
So like that level of intensity for a short period of time is more efficient than walking on the treadmill for an hour or Stairmaster type stuff. And I'd rather do something quicker.
Yeah.
Use less time.
And it's better on your body, because this is one thing, like when I started jiu-jitsu, like everybody who was competing or who was taking jiu-jitsu seriously was training 2 to 3 times a day.
No.
2 to 3 times a day,
Wow.
2 to 3 hour sessions. And you fast forward and then you find out they had some extracurricular, enhancements that supplements that they would take to be able to do that. I didn't know that. So I'm like, I'm just going based off of the guys that I look up to at the time. And I'm like, I'm just going to train. And I was 18, so it wasn't a big deal. But, fast forward to now, like any of my students that want to take their training a little bit more seriously, I would say, be a little bit more precise with how you train, because I'd rather have you train one solid session a day, 5 days a week, versus burning yourself out doing 6 to 7 days, multiple sessions a day.
Yeah, you're just wearing yourself out. You're never filling up that gas tank.
Well, I think there's something certainly to be said for, because I do more of the endurance stuff and I've gotten more into strength training. I haven't done anything like this. This was great to throw into the mix, though, because it was so different.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great experience. It really was. So as I'm flipping through some of the videos here, obviously this is when we got Mitch here on the left, you got me on the right. This is not the point where I heard the pop.
That already happened.
You might notice it if you watch the whole video. I don't know, but no, both these guys were fantastic. They were very kind to us. That was kind of remarkable. But I didn't have a clue what the hell was going on the entire time. I was trying to learn bit by bit, and I learned a few things. It was great. I mean, truly was great.
Yeah.
And we call that guy Big Joe, so it had something to do with it.
Joe and Joe.
But he's a solid dude, man.
Oh, yeah.
He was a solid dude. He was a very nice guy. I will say at one point I had such a sweat worked up, and I was on top of him. A bead of my sweat went right down into his face. I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
It is not the first or the last time that probably happened.
No, I was just
sweat is. But yeah, that's one thing. Maybe if you're afraid of sweat, it's not.
It's not for you.
Yeah,
it's not for you.
No, or like bodily fluids at all.
Yeah.
It was
So
good.
as like first timers, what are some things that first timers get wrong or misperceive? Perceive. Yeah,
right out of the gate.
Jiu-jitsu.
Right out of the gate, I would say tying their belt is something that first timers
Yeah, I
get
couldn't
wrong.
do that.
Funny you
So
say
could
that. So we're in the
Jessica
locker
doing
room,
that.
and we'd have the belts, and we're clearly knowing what the hell we're doing. And there's a guy who says to us, "Want me to show you how to tie that?"
Yeah.
Yes, please.
That'd be great.
And you know what? So my students, a lot of like some of my longtime students, so there's two things that my staff takes care of this, I take care of it, and then some of my longtime students. When we know somebody's new or they're on their trial or their first class, we always make sure that they don't come out with their pants on backwards and their belt tied wrong, because those are the two common things that happen with beginners.
Nice.
So,
I can see that happening.
and
Very easily.
even when I designed the gis, I purposely put a patch in that spot. So it's easy for me to say, hey, patch in the front, Joe.
That was genius.
Nice.
That was genius. I noticed the patch.
Yeah,
I
right
did.
Right in the leg there.
I did. Yeah.
I didn't notice the patch, but yeah, I think I was looking for the tag.
Yeah, I will tell you, I was, and when I found out that I then got to go against Mitch, I was like, well, I don't know that I need to do this.
What we wanted.
But that's part of it too. Like I feel like part of your jiu-jitsu experience, like you do have to get pushed out of your comfort zone, because it might not work for everybody. But I need one person to just feel the adrenaline of being outside of the comfort zone to change their life completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely out of my comfort zone with the was he a purple belt?
Yeah.
Blue, purple for sure. Yeah, he
He
just put his shin right in front of me. I was like, I don't know how to get out of this.
100%.
I'm so screwed.
Because it was Mitch at this point, if you see me smiling or Mitch smiling, it's because I'm talking a lot of shit.
Oh.
I'm saying inappropriate things.
We were happy there was no mics, no hot mics on that one.
Yeah, but that's part of jiu-jitsu, man. Yeah. Like, I bet you're not the only group in there. Like, you see that couple in the back? They're teasing each other. They're having a good time. The pink and the white gi.
I really feel like you should have had a pink gi for Mitch. I mean, that would have brought out his eyes nicely.
Yep. We'll tie it all together.
It'd be a lot of pink, though.
You gotta be really good to wear the pink.
True. Or really confident.
You're very confident. Very confident yourself. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So, and then, of course, one of the highlights came towards the end where Mitch got to go against somebody else who you recognize here. And what I love about this, I should have had you guys stand right next to each other at the very start.
I'm bent over and still as tall as you.
But I will say this. Like, Mitch was difficult to take down, especially with the grips. So part of my game plan was more or less like having him be the aggressor so that I could use him attacking against him to put him onto the mat.
And
Yeah.
I knew you would try and do that. So like, I'm not trying to push through
Because here's the thing: at the end of the day,
doing.
like physics are physics, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to get stuck under a guy that's 245 pounds. Like my ego is just not
ideal.
No, no. And that's why I tell people too. Like even if it is somebody who you think, oh, a beginner, or so on and so forth, you have to be smart. You have to use common sense. But no, Mitch did a really good job of staying calm, staying relaxed.
I got tired pretty quick though. It's like, oh, he's gonna still play this. I'm gonna get tired and I'm gonna be screwed, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Oy.
So what I was not aware at all about the sport was the use of the actual gi as essentially
A weapon.
a weapon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was very interesting.
Choked me out pretty quick with that.
Yeah, I don't know if it was this round. I think there was. I might have used my gi in a choke against you, or I used your gi.
You use mine. You grab like the right lapel.
This is where Mitch is
I
like,
could hear it
I'm
go,
dying.
Oh, shoot. As soon as I felt it tight, I'm like,
So
damn.
see here, like I spent a lot of time in this position because I wanted you to see like how much pressure I can produce
Yeah, I could barely breathe.
being smaller than Mitch.
The smile you have on your face throughout this process was just
Because
truly
this is what jujitsu is. Like this is like where in a way like you're producing like superhuman abilities.
Yeah.
That people aren't even aware of. Like other people have at times called it the invisible jujitsu, because people are watching from home and they're like, Mitch, just get up.
Can't.
Mitch, just get that guy
Don't
off
be
you.
lazy, Mitch. Get up.
He's half your size. Just get
Yeah.
up.
Or
And
like, oh,
Mitch
just
is
pick
like,
him up and throw him on the ground. Like that's not that easy.
and it's like Mitch is turning different colors in that position.
Oh yeah.
But I will say this: like anytime people say, "Oh, like strength doesn't matter in jiu-jitsu," like I take a guy like Mitch, I show him, 6 months.
That sucked.
6 months. If I show him how to do that, if Mitch is patient and coachable, like imagine him doing that at 245
Yeah.
versus me doing that at 150.
Right.
Like you will destroy people's
Yeah,
lives.
I couldn't breathe at all.
Yeah. Definitely a difference there. for
Like
sure.
I have I don't know if I think he was there that night. I have one of my black belts, Aaron. He's probably as tall as Mitch, if not maybe a little bit taller. And it's the same techniques that I use, like I've taught it to him over the past 9+ years. He was a transplant from Chicago. That guy, rolling with that guy, like you will feel
Every ounce.
Is that right?
sensations of pressure that didn't, that you have never felt before. And that's the thing is like, so after all these years, like when I get around with him, I'm like, kind of like the way I move with Mitch, like I am not getting caught underneath this guy because like,
Bad news.
oh yeah,
I got you.
yeah.
I got you. So we had a great workout. Obviously, it's very approachable.
There we go.
That might be the thumbnail for this episode.
That should be. Definitely.
I think we took a couple good pictures, but yeah, no, I mean that's the thing. I mean, we're like, my mission now is just show people like, hey, what this can do for somebody, especially, people coming in with no abilities before. Here, I was trying to pop Mitch up in the air.
There you go.
But see, he was defending because at first, like I said, I was trying to get him up. I was trying to get him up completely over my head, kind of like a yoga move.
Yeah.
That we utilize in jiu-jitsu. But no, Mitch did a good job of staying heavy. So I don't know if it's Mitch's background and being a chiropractor, just understanding how the body works. But he did a good job of keeping good
There
posture,
would have been some football in there too.
knowing when to attack. But sometimes football players like, see, this is probably like the only part was a little sketchy. See how far forward your head is
Yep.
past your hips. That's kind of where you're now light, right? Versus if you like instead of coming forward, you just put a lot of effort into like posturing back.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it would make you very heavy and very, very difficult for me to put you onto your back. Call that the tenderizer right there.
The giant smile.
Still couldn't breathe.
Yeah, so that one there, like every time Mitch takes a deep breath and my hips come down, my hips fills up his lungs, which where
It fills up that space.
so there's nothing for him to. There's no area for him to put oxygen in. See, this right here was a good move on Mitch because that armbar that I was trying to set up there,
Mm-hmm.
like I would have gotten that on most people. But here's where jiu-jitsu comes in. Like you miss one opportunity, you create
Just roll
5
it.
more.
This
Yeah.
is where he grabbed the gi here. That would be like one of the benefit things too. Or one of the things I like to do is like with football, we always watch film to figure out like what was going on. So like obviously like feeling what you're like being there first person, feeling everything, and then looking back at it, like, all right, what did you do wrong here? What did you do wrong here? What could you have shifted? Like I wouldn't have like if you told me in the moment I was too far forward with my weight, I wouldn't have known what that meant until I saw it. So it's almost like it'd be cool. It'd be interesting if you were like coaching and had film of what you were doing.
Yeah.
And then went through like almost like went through it again. But
So this video shows
sure
in part
some people do that.
because I was throughout the whole thing. We were really only filming half the studio because you had a whole other class going on the left side.
All kids.
All kids. I mean, you got a huge group of people.
Yeah, these are my older kids. So the age group here is 10 to 13. After 13, they go into the adult group.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How many of the high school kids also do wrestling? Do any of them do wrestling at all?
Yeah, I have a couple kids who actually have gone down to state. I've had a couple former students that got college wrestling scholarships.
Mm-hmm.
So it's jiu-jitsu is the largest growing martial art right now, but it's still small enough that like for a wrestler that also does jiu-jitsu, like you can, because it's a different sport. Like sometimes people are like, oh, well, if you do jiu-jitsu, you should also do wrestling. Yes, but at the same time, like I tell my jiu-jitsu students that go into wrestling, like, go into this knowing that even though you know how to do takedowns, it's still a different sport, and vice versa, right? So yeah, I never, I don't buy too much into the ideology that jiu-jitsu and wrestling are exactly the same, because it's not. It's a different sport. One of my mentors in jiu-jitsu is Master Hickson. Hickson Gracie is the third son of Helio Gracie, which is one of the people credited with the form of jiu-jitsu that we have today. And his wrestling style is very similar to how you saw me roll with Mitch. Like, it's not explosive. It's not something that's going to take a lot of energy out of me. But it's very strong, right? If you grab behind the neck, like you feel like you're trying to pull down a tree. But just positioning your body at the right angles, like you can really manipulate somebody's weight, and that's a lot what I teach my wrestlers on the stand up, and then on the ground I teach them a lot of like the butterfly positions. Mm-hmm. So if somebody's trying to pin you, but they just feel it just feels slippery underneath you, like you'll never pin the guy, right? So a lot of that we are able to transition into wrestling, even though I just said it's a different sport, and use that because people have never seen that before. So you haven't seen it, you can't defend it.
Yeah, I was curious what the crossover benefit of wrestling to jiu-jitsu to wrestling. I know there's it's similar.
Yeah.
Like conditioning and
there's some similarities, but at the same time very different. But like, for example, we'll do a drill where it's just like your goal is just to try to pin your partner's shoulders to the mat. Yep. So in wrestling, a pin, that's how you win, right?
Right.
And we train that.
Yep.
So I train my kids in that. So when they go into a wrestling match, like they are very difficult to pin because they've been playing this as a game for a couple of years now.
Right. Months, weeks, years.
Yeah.
Well, so personally, one of my biggest takeaways from this was that I found it to be just a phenomenal workout. It was completely outside of my comfort zone. I enjoyed it. 99% of it I enjoyed. But no, it was terrific. It was. I could definitely see a place for lots of people for it, and the family part in particular, to be able to do something with your kids. My son, pre-COVID, was doing Taekwondo in Plainfield, and he'd done, I don't know, maybe a year and a half, 2 years right before the shutdown. And there were parents that were doing it with the kids, and I would just come and bring him and watch him. I now kind of get it more. Mm-hmm. I think I would enjoy jiu-jitsu more than I would Taekwondo.
Yeah.
But I get it.
Taekwondo was kind of boring.
Yeah. Well, the thing about Taekwondo, and we just talked about this with some of my students, like, the biggest downside to jiu-jitsu right now is that jiu-jitsu really only has like the self-defense aspect and the competition aspect, and you can say lifestyle, versus like Taekwondo. Like, you can be competitive in Taekwondo, you can do the katas, you can do the performances, you can do and Joe, feel free to fill me in. There's different forms of the Taekwondo martial art that you can do, which kind of vibes with different personalities. Because like, if you're somebody that doesn't like to get punched in the face, well, you can do katas, right?
Well, and funny enough, the place that he went had weapons.
Yeah, you got the weapons too. Mm-hmm.
Which,
nunchucks,
and I will say
staffs.
this, from a purely business perspective, it was genius because every time we would switch a season, we would have to buy a new weapon for our kids.
Oh, yeah.
Plus all the sparring gear, and then when they would test and so forth, and all those things, they were all important.
Yep.
They were all worth the money. I mean, there was no question about it.
Yep.
He loved the weapons. That was he did.
What
enjoy
was
it,
his
by the way.
favorite? The nunchucks?
Nunchucks.
Yeah, those are fun.
Yeah, growing up, I was
nunchucks.
wanting to do nunchucks.
Did you have the padded ones or the real ones?
No, they were all padded.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't know, 7,
Yep.
6.
Yep.
He was a little guy. Yeah, and then COVID hit.
Ruined everything.
Yeah, that's a benefit of it. And I mean, I'm part of a mastermind group of guys in all martial arts fields, and they always talk about it and like the different ways of seasons being able to have the upkeep and be able to get the flow of money in and whatnot. And I'm like, hey man, my thing is like, as long as I can, there's things that I'm comfortable doing at the academy, and I think if I just produce a good product for people and people come in and man, not only did I get challenged, I learned a great thing. I got to do it with my son or daughter. I feel more confident at work because of it. Mitch said his training partner is he's a police officer. Joe, your training partner, he's in IT. But what he says to me when he started jiu-jitsu,
I thought he was going to kick your ass.
but he's like, he came to jiu-jitsu. He's like, man, I sit behind a desk all day. Like I'm going to, I don't like how I feel.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to start doing jiu-jitsu. And he's been there for over 10 years now.
Yeah, black belt. He's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm sure his mobility changed and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. He's he's a lot healthier now. I actually just I had my my semi-yearly doctor's checkup, and the doctor, and I've been, in a way, this has kind of been like my most mellow 6 months that I've ever had being in martial arts, because I have 3 boys now. So they kind of, is if my students aren't my focus, and my kids are when I'm at home, right? So, in my opinion, I'm in the most out of shape that I've been.
Uh-oh.
And the nurse, she's like, wow, your numbers look great. And I'm like, really? I'm like, man, the standards must be set low, because I'm like, I am in terrible shape.
Yes.
And she just cut me off after that.
But that's the thing. Like those numbers are based on like 80% of the population, and 80%, like most of our population is not in shape. They're all most of them are sedentary.
Yeah.
So yeah, like us that are just like slightly in shape are definitely on the outliers of that curve.
No,
which
you're
is
right.
insane. So
You're right. No, but that's another thing that I love about jiu-jitsu is like I get a guy to train for 1 or 2 months, to start more obviously. And then they go to their doctor's checkup, and then their numbers are just like completely like
Totally different.
off the chart.
like I had a guy who like the doctor's like, we have to bring you back in. They're like, the numbers don't make sense from your previous
Your
visit.
test was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, he's like, did you do any lifestyle changes? He's like, I do jiu-jitsu. He's like, and I would feel crappy eating fat food and then going to jiu-jitsu. He's like, so
Stop doing it.
he's like, so I eat ham sandwiches now, or something super minimal changed to his lifestyle. And it was enough to throw a red flag that, hey, you got to come back in. I think we took your results wrong. We took your test wrong.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool for sure.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in these standardized numbers that are average. I have a real tough time with a lot of them.
Yep.
I had this conversation with somebody the other day when they asked me about triathlons. I'm like, yeah, I'm never going to be on the podium, but I'm not competing with the other people.
No.
I'm competing with myself.
Mm-hmm.
PR, staying in shape, those kinds of things. Because if you look at average numbers for the 3 of us, we're all 3 different sizes and shapes and ages and so forth. I have a lot of difficulty in accepting what the average number is supposed to be as a whole.
And that's why I hate BMI. Because I'm 6'4", 245 right now. I think the last time I did the in-body scanner, it said, I don't know if I trusted it at Lifetime. It said I was 10% body fat. I don't think that's true. That'd be cool if it was. But I'm like, so you take my BMI, I'm obese. Like, I had a 30. I'm like, there's no way in hell I'm obese as far as like level of lean mass and all that stuff. So that's an average of your just height and weight. But so that's a terrible, terrible, terrible number.
One of the ways I think this fits in is you literally have an opportunity to test yourself, train yourself, and see yourself get better bit by bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was one of my big takeaways personally.
Yeah. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of just it being a family thing that everyone can do. So I'm definitely mulling that over as like, how do we work that into our routine on Tuesdays? Yeah. So I definitely want to try and do that.
Any final thoughts or suggestions for people who are thinking now, seeing this guy try? I mean, this guy's one thing, but this guy trying it, maybe they can try it too. Any other thoughts or things that you want to encourage people to give you a call, come out?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same thing. Like if you vibe with any of this, or you're like, hey, I need a new hobby, or maybe you're in IT too, and you're like, man, I hate how I feel after I get off from the computer, because not only are you mentally, exhausted, but physically, it's like I feel tired all day. I would hate to feel that way. That's like Mitch saw me with a nose strip today because I'm trying to clear out my allergies. If you just, or even from the social aspect of it, now
100%.
We're working more because, you could say bills are higher, this or that, and we have less time for social, for social interaction, and we need it. I think
that's something I don't think
get
people
more
think
social
about.
than you just laying on top of stuff.
Well, but you also have the social time before.
Yeah.
You have some during, you have some after. Yep. Tomorrow I'm going to a group bike ride, and I want to go for the bike ride, but I also want to go for the social interaction with the people that I'm friends with.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
It's a nice opportunity to have a break from everything else.
And the way you guys line up in the class, I didn't know it until they told me where to go. They're like, oh, white belt's over there. I was like, oh, got it. So you're around people that are in the same experience level for the most part. I was even like chatting with some of the guys, like, oh, how long have you been doing this for? He's like, oh, since October. It's like, cool. Another lady. Yeah, I was like, oh, this is where all the cool people are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally. This is where all the cool people are right on this end. So I was just kind of shooting the shit.
Yeah, great experience that way.
Yeah, and then it's nice because like if you stick with it, like you see like those same guys that you lined up with on day one, like you all progressively move down the line together.
Yep.
Until you go first full circle, and then you're in the front of the class, which is where the black belts stand. And then, what I'll say if there's any black belts listening, like once you're in the front of the class, that's when you're ready to start learning jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
After 10 years.
Yeah.
So, and I don't want that to be, I say that jokingly, but that sometimes has been a drawback of jiu-jitsu. People are like, oh, it takes way too long to get to that point. But I think if you're there for the right reasons, that shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
That shouldn't matter. And I think it does a lot for, your personality, your ego, your confidence,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's one of those long-term disciplines, which no one's ever at 100% with anything they're ever doing. So.
Yeah.
Well, I think we owe you a thank you for inviting us out, coming on the show a second time. I guess I owe Mitch a thank you for inducing me to do it. I literally said to him, I was thinking maybe we should change things up. Maybe I should just film this one to get better shots. Mitch is like,
absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Nah, you would have regretted it.
No.
Because I don't think even though you got a little bit of a little tweak, minor tweak.
An intercostal sprain strain.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, I don't think you regretted the experience.
Not at all.
No.
Not at all. We had a good
Would
time.
you do it again?
I would.
Ooh.
I would, yeah.
Right.
It is purely an issue of scheduling with everything else. But
You're busy.
Yeah, I wouldn't turn it down.
Would you leave triathlons for it?
Not right now.
Oh,
not right.
The door's open.
Oh, you never know. You never know. I mean, I do like the idea of something.
Got the wheel spinning
with the kids in particular. Yeah. I mean, my daughter's not. I don't know that I could induce her to do it with her.
She's more artsy.
College. Yeah. And my son, my kids have got so much stuff going on right now. Yeah, but I do like the idea of doing something with the kids. Like that component is not something I've ever got to do other than coach their teams. I never got to play with them or to have that experience. So I think it's pretty cool. So thank you once again for joining us. We will, of course, have in the YouTube description your contact information. Again, somebody wants to check out.
Definitely go drop in.
Yeah.
For the people who are listening, how do they find you?
So we're on Instagram at B1BJJ Fitness. Right now it's probably been our biggest, one of the thing that's been getting a lot of traction lately. People going on there just looking at our classes, so on and so forth. You can find us on YouTube at B1BJJ, and if you're local, we're on the Aurora-Naperville border across from the Fox Valley Mall. So we got a big old 6,000 plus square foot location there. Very family friendly. So you can also go to b1bjjfitness.com if you'd like to book a class. We'd love to have you drop on by.
Definitely a great facility.
Clean, professional,
welcoming,
very welcoming.
Just go to the right door. I went to the wrong door.
I waited until someone else went in. So.
Yeah. Smart move.
Thank you, Bruce. Thanks for coming.
Of course. Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
All right, that is a wrap on this episode of Dads, Deals, and Dumbbells. Bruce Guevara came back. Mitch and I actually got on the mat. I should say I actually got on the mat and somehow became both a student and a cautionary tale, perhaps.
Definitely. But seriously, huge thanks to Bruce for having us and coaching us through it all and showing us what Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is really all about. It was humbling. definitely challenging, and it was a great reminder that growth usually starts when your comfort ends.
And that once in a while you might sustain a minor injury trying something new, and that's okay.
Yeah, totally fine. If you're a dad, entrepreneur, or just someone who's been looking to try something new, definitely give Bruce a call, and maybe this is your sign. Find a good coach. Start slow. Check your ego at the door, and get moving
And if you need to, maybe tap out before you absolutely have to.
before something pops out. We'll see you next time.